Hi, and welcome to the LS 606 session online course, Change and Organizing in the Community. So in this course, we're going to talk a lot about changing an organizational change, in particular with a not-for-profit organization. I strongly advise you print out a copy of the syllabus. It's right here on the Moodle page. If you can see the Moodle page here, it's right on here. The textbook is an online textbook, and you should be able, I believe, to find copies of that that are easy to rent. So it'll save you a few dollars there. We have some technical requirements for the course, and other than the syllabus, the most important document on this Moodle page is the course timeline. On here is a list of all the assignments and when they're due. So this is a one easy to find place. You don't have to go cruising up and down, scrolling all around the Moodle page, clicking on links and all that, trying to find due dates. All the due dates are on this spreadsheet. And if any due dates change for some reason, I will email you. I will email a new copy, or I will post a new copy of the course timeline out. So you'll know when everything is due. I strongly advise you print that out. Put it up in your cubicle, tape it to your desk, tape it to your bathroom mirror so you read it when you brush your teeth, whatever. That is an extremely useful piece of information. The students I've had for other online courses really appreciate that because you know exactly when things are due and you can plan your activities accordingly. So let me introduce myself very quickly. I'm Dr. Lee Schimler. I've been teaching management here at Lynchburg College for a long time. Before that, I worked in industry for 20 years. So I was an engineer, went back to school, got my MBA while working, and then worked my way into engineering management and worked on a lot of different products, including defense items, police radios, and then cell phone production. So I was I was setting up robot lines in assembly areas and test areas in a huge robot factory for a European telecommunications giant called Ericsson. And at one point, we made 25,000 robots a day with 2,300 people and 8 robot lines running. So that was quite a lot of fun. And when that wound down, that's when I switched to teaching. So I've been teaching for over 15 years now. So you'll hear me reference my 20 years of experience in industry along with my 15 years of teaching. I was a project manager, quality engineer, departmental manager, so I had lots of different jobs in my career. So I try to bring that into my lectures. So hopefully that comes across as a sort of an application-oriented kind of guy that I am doing these videos. I'm also including in this year in the course a special segment on project management. I'll have you do a little project schedule. I'll have you use a little bit of software that explains how that works. I have a little tutorial for that. I think that's really useful because it's a discrete skill that you can show off. You can make little schedules, you can put them on your cubicle wall, you can really look like you know what you're doing, really look like a professional. They're easy to do, they're easy to change, they're quite useful, and I think that's a good solid takeaway you can have from this class. Also, organizational change is something you kind of got to see and something you kind of got to do. It's a little like leadership. So there's a big project, quite frankly, a big project in this class where you and a team will attempt to analyze and implement changes or recommend changes anyway, at a organization, a not-for-profit organization. So that's a extremely useful activity where you get to try to use what you've learned. It can be frustrating as you're trying to find an organization. What's the issue you're trying to address? What's the thing you're trying to change? How might you go about that? Do you have support? All those kind of things, all in a fairly short summer class here. So that can be a pretty big challenge. So I'm here to help. I'm in my office most of the time. I'll give you and the syllabus has my email account. I'll give you my cell phone if you need to text me with issues or say, hey, go see my email. I have lots of problems. We'll try to stay in contact through here. We're very likely to have a couple of online chats. So I'll have basically virtual office hours, well, usually by appointment because it is the summertime, and I'll try to help you through this thing. It's not just a case where you're going to be working by yourself as you feel like it. We call it asynchronous, where you do it whenever you want, when you feel like it. You're actually going to have to work with a team. Team will have to schedule its own time, its own activities. I'll be checking in on you, making sure the team is working together, making progress. You will evaluate your team members so we can make sure you're all pulling together to the common good and no one's just kicking back trying to let everybody else do all the work. And there'll be checks and balances in place for that. So everybody's going to fill out a evaluation of their teammates, and you get some points for doing that, but mostly to keep everybody honest, to be sure everybody's doing their fair share. So I invite you to two things. Read the syllabus, read it well. You can see the assignments are due on there and what the assignments are entailed at, although there's more detailed instruction down into the Moodle pages. And then there is also the course timeline, where I invite you to print out a couple copies of that, spread them around so you have them with you so you know exactly when things are due. Right, so when we get started down here on topic 1, you see videos chapters 1, 2, and 3. So the chapters from the book. I have short videos, maybe 20 to 30 minutes on each chapter where I talk about the chapter and the content, all that, and then a reflective narrative where I'm looking for you to write down the 3 important takeaways per chapter on what it is you're learning. When you do that, you listen better to the videos, and it helps you sort of cement the knowledge so that when you think about these concepts, you can work them into your organizational analysis. So in topic 1, you're going to look at watch videos in the first 3 chapters and then do a reflective narrative on there. In topic 2, same thing. Chapters 4, 5, and 6, reflective narrative. And then I'm going to have you look up a research article and do an analysis on that. And a little bit later, you'll look up a second research article. Those are important because that's how we learn things from other academics on how these things work. So there'll be more from me later. Welcome aboard, and be sure you get a book as soon as possible and print out the syllabus, print out particularly the course timeline, and we'll get to work. Good to have all you in my class.